Ladies and gentlemen, there are some good news that are emerging from US, and they're all very healthy for the US stock market, and we should see some very exciting trends that are moving forward. And there are some very big news that potentially could come out as well in a matter of hours. So let's watch on, and remember to watch until the end. So these are my usual disclaimers. Remember, hit subscribe for all these very important news outbreak. And these are all very important for us to be abreast of what's happening in the world. So yesterday I did a live stream on the CPF 4M65 update, and I have actually introduced all my numbers to everybody. Some updates were given. And in fact, this is a journey now to a much higher number called 6M65. And tonight I'll try to do a Q&A live stream on it where I share with you more details. Remember, hit subscribe to make sure that you're updated on this live stream. In case I can't do it tonight, I'll do it tomorrow as well. So don't miss this live stream. Some of this live stream, I can't keep it. So the US stock market is now going up and up and up. So the futures market look right now quite healthy. And by the time you watch this, I'm sure the stock market will have now emerged in a very positive way. And the reason why this is happening right now is because Canada has agreed to drop the tax that's imposing on the technology company to restart US trade talks. So Donald Trump has given a warning to Canada that they will stop all negotiation with Canada, and as a result, now Canada chicken out. So Canada has scraped a tax on big US technology companies just hours before it was due to come in force to allow trade talks between the two countries to restart. So on Friday, President Donald Trump actually called off all trade talks with Canada and basically said this tax is a blatant attack on US and threatening higher tariffs on all imports on Canada. And in response, Canada just chickened out. They said, okay, I lose. Okay, so this DST, Digital Service Tax, would mean that US tech giants, including Amazon, Meta, Google, Apple, will face a 3% charge on Canadian revenue above 20 million. So this would actually be a very big number. So the DST was announced in 2020, according to the Canadian Finance Minister, to address the fact that many large technology companies operating in Canada may not otherwise pay tax on those revenue generated from Canadians. So therefore, it's not fair, right? You make money from Canada and then you don't pay tax. And many of these companies are able to siam, all these taxes because they collect the taxes globally. So they do not actually need to pay tax on all this revenue collected from Canada. So many countries, including the UK, are changing how they tax large multinational technology companies, which have millions of customers and advertisers across the world, but have huge tax bill that are due their way. Their businesses are structured, so they are able to escape all these taxes because they are structured globally. I give you an example. So a lot of times we want to advertise with Google, for example. Okay, in the case they actually you pay to the Google head office. Okay, and there is a located not in Canada but maybe in US, or in many times in some tax efficient outfit across the world. So it's estimated that the Canadian tax will cost the tax giant more than $2 billion a year in total. So that was actually Canada chickening out. So Donald Trump wins again big time. Okay, let me spell it very clearly to you. Donald Trump, along with US tech company, is winning big time as much as we hate it. So let's take a look at Japan, right? So Japan and US now has been negotiating for some time. They are now deadlocked after months of fruitless talk. So trade negotiation between Japan and US remain at an impasse despite months of dialogue and earlier suggestion by Japan that progress was achieved. So with some analysts forecasting a breakthrough only after duties hit the US economy in the fall and force a settlement. So Japan want the tariffs on automobiles to be lowered. US said that the 25% additional duties put on the administration is not up for discussion. Minimally 25%. Okay, it insists that the main subject of talks now are the reciprocal tariff set to kick in on July 9th if implemented. Will take the tariffs on most Japanese goods from the 24% from the current 10%. So Trump has outright said that, I buisong, right, dissatisfied with the state of trade with Japan, and I'm not gonna move from this position. I'm gonna send letters. That's the end of the trade deal, he said. I'm gonna send one to Japan, and dear Mr. Japan, here's the story. You're gonna pay a 25% on your tax. They won't take our cars. So Japan will not buy US cars, yet we take in millions and millions of the cars in the US. It's not fair. I explained that to Japan and they understand it. So Japan is gonna be hit really bad, and I actually don't think that Japan has any significant leverage with US. So they're gonna lose big time as well. So in that sense, US is gonna win big time on this. So another news on TikTok. So TikTok has been on this, has on this need to divest itself so that it disassociate itself with the parent company, which is ByteDance. And the US entire lawmakers has basically said that if you want to operate TikTok in US, it cannot be linked with a parent company at all in any way. And Donald Trump actually quite liked TikTok, but he gave them time and time and time again to find a buyer. So far there has not been successful, but he keep postponing it, right? He kind of like TikTok. And right now he came out with the news and said that he has a group of very wealthy people ready to buy TikTok. And he said he has found TikTok buyers, but the deal likely needs Beijing approval to move forward. And he said that, I think President Xi Jinping will probably do it. Okay. So again, right, if this were to happen, he wins big time as well. In some sense, my guess is he gets a TikTok at a fire sale price. So one of the last thing that's happening right now is Donald Trump, one big beautiful bill, massive tax cut for US. And right now, the senators is now voting or preparing to vote. And by the time you watch each video, maybe the vote is out already. So in a high level, there are lots and lots of tax cut that this bill by Donald Trump proposed. I'll give you a few of them. Okay, so he has actually enacted in 2017 some massive tax cut, and this time around he's actually going to extend it and make it permanent, and this would prevent a potential $4 trillion increase for taxpayers. Okay, and there are new tax cut that he wants to do. For example, tips, okay, should not be taxed. Overtime pay and interest on loans made for American-made vehicles and all this. So these are going to be implemented under this bill, and many much more. I won't go through a detail. Many much more. And he's going to also cut some of the spending. To be fair, he cut on Medi-Aid, right? So this is a lot of healthcare insurance that he's going to remove, and this will save some money. But is very controversial because it leads to about 7.8 to 13 million people losing coverage. And there are some supplemental nutrition assistance program. I don't know what is this, okay? But he's going to cut them. Student loan program that is implemented by President Biden, he cut them. And clean energy, he actually is going to cut all this credit. That's very funny. Most countries want to implement clean energy, okay? Therefore, we give some tax credit and things like that, or some subsidies. He's going to eliminate quite a lot of all this, okay? So this get someone very angry, and I'll talk about it. He's going to allocate a huge sum for a border wall construction, okay? Increase more hiring of border patrol agents, deportation operations, and increasing a lot of immigration, illegal immigrants, detention facilities, and so on. And it's going to impose anybody want to seek asylum in US, okay, $1,000 fee. Right. So there's a lot of all these things it's going to do, and it's potentially going to collect. It's going to spend quite a lot of money on all this to make sure that US become a lot more difficult to go in. And so on, right? I'm not gonna go through all of this, but one big one I'm gonna say is that he repeals the Biden era methane tax, open federal land for oil, gas, and mineral leasing, and so on. So he's moving kind of backwards, right? Allowing oil energy to take off. And now, is this going to be good or bad for economy? It depends, right? And depends who projected. So the Congressional Budget Office said that the bill would add another two to $4 trillion over the next 9 to 10 years of budget deficit. Right, that's very bad. But when I look in the detail, I must say that this is too conservative. Now the bill is set to increase GDP by about 0.8% in long run and potentially increase tax revenue as well. So whether this would increase or decrease the budget deficit, hard to say. Most people think that it will cause more budget deficit. So as a result, the U.S. Treasuries now become less attractive, and Donald Trump's big beautiful bill right now is causing foreign investors to diversify out of U.S. Treasury. So this is not good for things like TLT whatsoever. But I would say this is going against the tide that when interest rate cuts, which is going to come, the bonds will go up. So which effect is more? Very, very hard to say. Okay, very hard to say. So one very important person that is very, very angry, he kept his mouth shut for a few weeks, then he broke out again. So Elon Musk rips into the utterly insane Trump-backed mega bill. So Elon Musk said that President Donald Trump big beautiful bill will destroy millions of jobs in America and cause immense strategic harm to our country. Okay, and this is said to be another fight again. I thought they make peace with Donald Trump. I don't know why it's coming again. Okay, so that's largely because he makes Tesla, which is an EV car, electric car, which is supposed to be a green technology, and some of this kind of a in the past, most of the government bills are pro energy saving and green technology. But Trump now moved backwards, and as a result, we do have an issue right now for Elon Musk. So my key takeaway is this: Trump, in my opinion, is winning big time in a trade war. Big time. Okay, a lot of y'all don't agree because you don't like Donald Trump. I don't like him. But it is very obvious that he's winning big time in this trade war. And his big, beautiful bill, if it get passed, will be a massive, massive win for many of the U.S. corporation. Okay, so U.S. corporation was set to gain big time in revenues and in profits. Okay, and tax savings and things like that. So it's already happening, right? You can see the S&P 500 increasing, Nasdaq increasing. So maybe Tom Lee's 6,600 S&P 500 projection is likely to come to pass and likely to come to pass very quickly. It's hard to say right now the impact on US bonds. Okay, I think it's a phased approach. I think in the long term, I think it will still be okay. In the short term, you'll see a lot of volatility. But I think it's wisdom right now that we diversify our bonds globally, right? Rather than be centric in US. Okay, so let's just watch and see. Things are happening as we speak. Okay, so I hope that I can have time to do my live stream tonight. But certainly, I will look forward to discussing the journey of my 6M65 new discovery with everybody tonight or latest tomorrow. So remember, hit subscribe and I'll see you. Bye bye.